All right, we are live here, and this is my actual professional setup of a studio. I know usually I do these from the couch, but my very kind and thoughtful sister Roxy said, "You have a nice studio and a nice webcam and a nice microphone. Why are you doing these post games from your couch?" My answer was, "That's where I'm watching the games." So I just, basically it's because I was lazy. I didn't want to walk upstairs and do it. But I'm here now. You know what motivated me? This crappy Celtics loss to the Pistons. I was so mad that I was like, I'm not going to stay on my couch and take this. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to complain in my studio that I set up. Now, this isn't the best shot of the studio. I'm looking right now because the camera's over there, but I'm looking at the shot on my computer, which is here. I should maybe align it a little bit better to my eyes. I could make this shot a little bit better. It's a little tilted, but you get the point. Studio, microphone, camera, Oregon helmets, mini me, water. Uh, this is just another frustrating game in what's been a series of frustrating games. The the Pistons, make no mistake about it, suck. They're bad. They have like 20 power forwards on their roster. They have no business beating a team like the Celtics. Not that the Celtics are world beaters by any sense, but the Celtics have too much talent, too much top end talent to lose to a team like this. And to get bullied like they did tonight was really, really disappointing. Now, listen, Sadiq Bey, the rookie for the Pistons, went bananas and went 7 of 7 from three. That's like basically unheard of besides Steph Curry doing stuff like that. So, like, there's nothing you can really do about that. But he could have gone 10 of 10 from three, and you should still beat the Pistons. Just because one player has a terrific game doesn't mean you should lose to a team that sucks. And I think there's a lot of blame to go around. Brown played an okay game. I thought Tatum was very good, but besides those two, no one really stood out. Ojale was playing fine up until he got hurt, but Pritchard didn't do much in his first start. Tice took a couple bad shots, was getting kind of abused in the paint. Grant Williams was not having a good game by any stretch, didn't really do anything meaningful. Tristan Thompson didn't do anything meaningful. You just weren't getting anything out of anybody else. Obviously, Kemba didn't play tonight because it's the second night of a back-to-back. But none of this should matter. You should still be able to beat a team like the Pistons. And that's sort of what's been so frustrating about the Celtics this year. And I've talked about this on Twitter just now, saying they remind me a lot of that 76ers team last year that everybody's like, well, this team just got so close to the finals and they're ready. This is their time. They look at all the top end talent on their team with Embiid and Simmons, and Horford was supposed to be good last year, but he wasn't. And oh my God, the Sixers team can be so good. And over the course of the year, they just kept being disappointing. And everybody kept saying, just wait, just give it time. It's going to work. It's going to work. And then they got swept out of the playoffs by the Celtics. I feel a very similar vibe to the Celtics team this year, which is that's like people are like, oh, just give it a little bit more time. Just wait until Marcus Smart gets back from injury, or just wait until Kemba got back from his injury. Just wait until this, until that. And eventually you run out of time. And the team is, we're getting to a point where we're almost getting close to halfway through the season, and the team is sort of what it is. It's not a mystery as to what defines the Celtics team, and I think it's just been defined by mediocrity and disappointment. And Tatum and Brown are too good to be on a team that's this mediocre. And what's been the big difference for the Sixers, if we're going to compare this team, the Celtics team, to the Sixers team last year, is that the Sixers cleaned house in the offseason because they were just sick of the disappointment. New GM, new coach. And this year they've been a far more successful team, I think, because of it. And I think the Celtics really need a culture reset. Either a culture reset from the front office or from the coaching, or they need a big time impact player, a la maybe John Collins, to come in at the trade deadline and energize this team. Because I just see bad body language and bad energy from this team, zero consistency. I just keep hearing the same thing from the coaches and the players saying, oh, we know we're just as frustrated as anybody. Just give it time. It's going to get right. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. But at some point, it's like, well, when is that going to happen? It's just this team is something is fundamentally wrong with it. I'm just run through the numbers real quick before I'm done. Blake Griffin tonight. Why am I looking at him? 12 points. Don't care about Blake Griffin. Here's the two guys for the Pistons that killed the Celtics. Delon Wright, 22 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, was getting to the rim whenever he wanted. Delon Wright, yeah, that's correct. I'm not misspeaking. That's who was abusing the Celtics. And obviously Sadiq Bey, the rookie who the Celtics neglected to pick. Instead, they took Aaron Nesmith, who has barely played the season and didn't play at all tonight. Well, the guy that got taken a couple picks after him, Sadiq Bey, he played 27 minutes tonight, scoring 30 points, getting 12 rebounds, hitting a dagger shot, and was 7 of 7 from 3, 10 of 12 from the floor. So good drafting by Danny Ainge, as usual. And on the Celtics side, Tatum, 33, 7 assists, 11 rebounds. Nothing to complain about with Tatum. He was by far the best Celtic on the floor tonight. Jaylen Brown, pretty good game for him too. 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. The ball wasn't moving. If you were watching the broadcast, Scalabrine was saying this a lot. The ball was not moving nearly as well as it was against Toronto the other night, which is frustrating because, again, Toronto's a much better team, especially defensively, than this Pistons team, and you couldn't move the ball well against them. The Celtics weren't getting good shots, weren't taking good shots. The bench gave you virtually nothing. Jeff Teague had his best game in a while, 8 points off the bench, but Javonte Green, 7 points off the bench. Everybody off the bench's plus minuses were bad. Just not enough. And this is going to continue. Anybody who's expecting the Celtics to just like snap out of this, unless there's a fundamental change, like I said, an impact player coming in, which could happen to the trade deadline, or you're going to have to wait to the offseason where Celtics make a decision with their head coach or their front office, because it's starting to become a trend, and you don't want the trend to be a disappointing team, a team that doesn't live up to expectations. You have to do something to reverse that. And with losses like this, it just sort of reinforces where the Celtics are right now, which is a team that is disappointing. So we'll see what happens. They play again early on Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Wizards. I'll be back then, probably in the studio. We'll see if I can get my ass up from the couch. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. Jake, I look as white as my background right now. Yes, I'm pale. I'm trying to match the snow outside. That's my goal. I have a light. It's not helping. I'm just pale. Maybe I should put more color in the background, but maybe then I would stand out more like a ghost. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know. Pale's I'm a vampire maybe, but then I wouldn't have a reflection, would I? We'll have to figure it out. All right. Love you too, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thanks. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, tell your neighbors, friends, enemies, acquaintances, relatives, alive or dead. I don't care. Just tell somebody. And I will talk to you after next game. All right. See ya.